Welcome to Wisdom Walks. Today is October 1st, so we're going to look at Proverbs 1. This is a proverb that Solomon is said to have written. It was written around AD 700, so that's quite a while, maybe about 1,000 years after the flood, and approximately 700 years, give or take a couple, before the birth of Jesus Christ. Okay, that kind of gives you a little range in when it was written. So it's a pretty old book, and it's significant even until this day because of what it teaches. We're going to look at verse 5. We'll start at verse 5. A wise man will hear and will increase in learning, and a man of understanding shall attain to wise counsels. Verse 7, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. My son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother. Pretty self-explanatory, right? Listen to when your parents are teaching. It's important that you do that. Verse 10 says, my son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. In other words, when a bad boy come around the corner, man, don't say you're going to go do nothing with them. You know what they into. You know what they about. Don't get on with that. Verse 15, we're going to skip down to that because I don't want to hold too much of your time. My son, walk not in the way with them, refrain thy foot from their path. Again, don't hang out with them, man. Don't even go down and see what they talking about, you know. Verse 20 says that wisdom cries in the street. She cries without and utters her voice aloud. In other words, you ever been in a situation when you just know that that's a bunch of foolishness and you shouldn't get involved? That's kind of wisdom crying out, you know. Seen anybody over there, crash dummy mission, and they just doing something real stupid. That's what crash dummy mission mean. They on something stupid, and really you can tell this foolishness just from looking at them. That's what that means. Don't even go over there, man. Don't even try to be like them. Don't even try to be with them. Don't do none of that. Verse 22, how long will ye simple ones love simplicity? And scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. Turn you at my reproof, behold, I will pour my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. You see, God don't want us to be foolish. He doesn't want us to observe the wrong thing or the incorrect thing and then go put ourselves out there in it. We have an obligation within ourselves to do the right thing, but we also have an obligation to God to uphold the truth as well. A scorner is somebody who, let's see how to describe this. Someone who hates to be told the truth. And once they are told the truth, they always got something to say about it, always. So, we don't want to be that way because, verse 25 will tell you. But I'm going to go up to 24 first. Because I have called and ye refuse, I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. But ye have set at naught all my counsel and would none of my reproof. And basically, I done told you over and over again. I done put every available opportunity for you to do the right thing, but you still choose not to. I made available wisdom to you. You understand that this is wrong, but you still want to go over there and do it, right? It said, I will laugh at your calamity. And calamity is just a bunch of confusion and mixed with misfortune, okay? And let's see. I will mock when your fear comes. Now, this is God saying this. When your fear comes as destruction and your desolation, and that's just like emptiness, when you just feel empty, when you just feel like hopeless, it's an emptiness associated with a hopeless feeling, right? When your distress and anguish come upon you, when you're grieving and sorrowful and just really, not feeling too good, in your life. I know we all hit those points in our life where we don't feel good, but anguish and distress is kind of like a deep sense of those two emotions combined. Okay? Let's see. For that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord. Remember, we discussed the fear of the Lord being the beginning of understanding, being the beginning of knowledge. You don't fear God, you're not going to understand the very simple things that God tell you to do, and you're not going to want to adhere to them either. That's why the fear of the Lord is so important. It says that therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own devices. And that's kind of like a real fly way of just basically saying you didn't want to listen, so you're going to get all the consequences associated with that crazy stuff you're doing. Also, you're going to be kind of like unavailable to disconnect yourself from it emotionally or physically because you didn't want to listen. So now you're going to like doing it, and whatever come with it, you're going to be getting, and you're going to be okay with it, but it's just not good because, well, for the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and prosperity of the fools will destroy them. And again, they talk different back then, right? But I'm going to try to do this so you can understand it real quick. When you don't go and try to do the right thing with your life, you might find yourself in some pretty messed up situations. I don't know, I can only speak from my own experience, but I've been to jail, I've been in state jail, and I've seen guys happy to be there, right? I mean, these dudes is running around and they just with it, they with it like it's a good thing that they up in there, like it's just their turn or something like. But that's true. It was their turn, like it was my turn, because I mean, you handle it the best way you can, but at the same time, it's not something that you look at as a situation that you really, 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 are okay with, and our actions or got us there. I know me personally, nobody put me there. Nobody made me do whatever I was doing at that time to get placed in that environment. But it really took a toll on my life, There were things going on I didn't want to be separated from, but I had no choice to be separated from them. So now prosperity is just, wealth and riches. It's gonna kill them. You got just enough money to kill yourself. I know you hear about and see a lot of famous people, rich and famous people who died because they overdosed or something crazy, or got into a real fast car and, drove it into a tree, right? Prosperity, man. Having that money available, having those things available to them, it just killed them. That's really what it was. So, last verse, but whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely and shall be quieted from the fear of evil. Basically, God got us. He wants us to keep him first. He wants us to fear him so that we are available emotionally to submit ourselves to his will with our heart and with our mind. So the best way that I can encourage anyone who truly wants to honor God is to continue to seek his righteous path and walk as wisdom walks.